live with Tao. Kumbh, the celebration of the celebration of unity, harmony on earth. United Nations branch, UNESCO, gives certain sites, the physical sites, as UNESCO sites. But this Kumbh Mela, which is held in India, has been on the intangible site of UNESCO website. There are certain events that take place during our lifetime. We are contemporary to it, but we remain focused on those that are destructive. There are certain things that change the destiny of the human life, the human destiny. We do not pay attention to it. It is such an event that we are contemporary to this event that is taking place on earth during our time. The word Kumbh comes from the Sanskrit word. Kumbh means pot or a sacred pitcher. It is the largest peaceful organization of pilgrims on earth during which participants take a dip in the sacred river. Devotees believe that taking a dip in Ganges, one is freed from the sins of birth and death. Its primary bearers, however, belong to akhadas. There are certain words which we need to understand. Akhada means akhand, the organization of those whose responsibility is to take care of the culture, tradition, and other values to unite the society in myriad ways. There are 13 such organizations or akhadas. 4 belong to the followers of Shiva. 7 belongs to the followers of Shiva. 3 belongs to the follower of Vishnu, the another aspect of Hindu Trinity. Shiva the destroyer, Vishnu the preserver, and 3 belongs to those that are neutral. They impart their teachings and weave the entire humanity into one cord. The event encapsulates the science of astronomy, astrology, spirituality, ritual traditions, social and cultural customs and practices, making it extremely rich in knowledge. It has 2 aspects. One is the ritualistic aspect. The other is the aspect that relates to you. When en masse the meditation activities takes place, it has a cultural impact and it has a personal impact. In your family, only one person participates in meditation or comes to the company of an awakened one. And when things begin to change in his life, the inner flowering has happened, its effect starts happening on the other members of the family. This is what is very important. Kumbh is the word that is known as pitcher or a pot. It has an opening, it has a neck, and it has a base, the belly. These are symbolic. It represents, the opening represents one of the Trinity, Vishnu. The neck represents Shiva. And the literal meaning of Kumbh, it is known as womb, it is known as pitcher, but its elemental meaning is something else. Even the symbol of pitcher, Kumbh, is synonymous with holy activities, as in daily life. The pot is an important integral part of sacred activities according to Hindu culture. We use it in different means. It is believed and mentioned in the holy scriptures that the mouth, the opening of the pitcher, symbolizes the presence of Vishnu, the neck, that of Shiva or Rudra, the base of Brahman, all goddesses in the center, and the entire ocean in the interior. Thus, it encompasses all the four scriptures and knowledge. This symbolically means human body. It refers to a womb, bounty, earth, plenitude. It is receptacle that holds life, spirit, water, nectar, the elixir. It is very important. It is the confluence of cultures. Then there is astrological aspect of Kumbh. It is related to the traversing of planets and stars in their certain alignment. When the stars and planets come in a certain alignment, then it takes place. As for the Vedas, sun is considered as the soul, like or life-giving. Moon is considered as the lord of mind. The planets, Jupiter or Brihaspati, is considered as the guru or the master of gods, as it takes the almost 12 years for Jupiter to transverse to complete a zodiac. It takes 12 years. So the Kumbh is celebrated in accordance at one place every 12 years. When Jupiter enters Aquarius, the zodiac sign, the sun and the moon are in Aries and Sagittarius respectively. Kumbh takes place in one of the places which is in North Haridwar. When Jupiter is the most important in all the astrological alignment. When Jupiter is in Taurus and sun and moon are in Capricorn, in that it was in Aries and Sagittarius. When they are in Capricorn, and then it is held at Prayagraj. That is what is happening at the moment. It started from this morning. When Jupiter enters Leo and the sun and the moon in Cancer, the Kumbh takes place in one of the southern part known as Nasik near Mumbai or Triambakeshwar. When Jupiter is in Leo and sun and the moon in Aries, Kumbh is held in one of the central part of India that is known as Ujjain. Since Jupiter is in zodiac, it is held at different places. There is a mythological significance of it. I will speak on the mythological significance of it and how it relates to our life and how we can relate to it. It happened that the atrocities of the demons was increasing, and Indra, the god of celestials, was riding his white elephant Aravat. And one of the sages, the son of Brahma, known as Durvasa, is known as the person who is ready to curse very easily. There is a significance. It is not something bad. It is the mother who punishes the child more than the father, because the mother loves the child more than father does, and the mother wants the child to improve, to follow a certain pattern of life, so she is always angry in certain matters. So Durvasa put a garland of flowers around the neck of Vishnu, around the neck of Indra. Indra took this garland out of his neck and placed it around that of his elephant. But his fragrance was so strong that elephant took it off and threw it on the ground. Durvasa the sage saw it, he got angry, and he cursed Indra, not a personal, that your prosperity will be lost. You will lose everything. When something goes wrong in our life, our prosperity is lost. Prosperity is a feminine quality, and the woman is lost, the wealth is lost, the respect and everything is lost. So Indra lost his elephant, he lost his prosperity, and when the negativities started dominating, and when they start dominating, the positive forces becomes insignificant. So when there are too much of problems and you are not introspective and taking the things in the right perspective, you lose the business, you lose your job, you lose this, you lose, and in that you lose your husband, you lose your wife, and then all kind of a chaos and despair and disharmony begins. So this was the situation. So then all the demigods, they went to the creator Vishnu and asked them what to do. So he suggested a method. He said, what you do, you churn the ocean. Ocean is symbolic of the mind. And churning means it is the process through which, when you start churning, that which is hidden inside the liquid surfaces. Like when we are making the cake, we whip the oil, we take the oil, and when we go on whipping, it becomes a cream. Whipping the oil, a cream is made that is used for cake. This is known as we use the wire whisk, we use the cake mixer. So in that case, ocean was to be churned, so some other process has to be used. When your mind has to go through the process of introspection or churning, we cannot use the wire whisk, we cannot use the cake mixer. We have to use a different process, and this process is known as the process of introspection. So in a case of an individual, this churning of the mind, the oceanic mind, is known as introspection. But now the ocean is to be churned. What to do? Then a mountain was used as the churning rod, and then we need the churning rope. So how to do that? Then the gods and demons get together. So the gods represents the creative force, the positive force in life, and demons represent the negative force in life. So when the process of introspection begins, the negativities are on one side, the positivities on one side, and between the two, there remains a constant state of conflict, and the process begins. So when this, now the churning rod is the mountain, and then what will be used as a churning rope? Because you cannot they churn the ocean in an ordinary way, taking the pancake mixer or the wire whisk and churn. Ocean is very deep, so it has to be a different process. So the mountain was used as the churning rod. The king of snakes was used as a churning the rope that was wrapped around the mountain, one side held by the gods, the other side held by the demons, just like tug of war, and constantly pulling and pushing this way. The elderly ladies in our home used to uh, churn the butter, churn the yogurt in order to get the cream out of it. So it began, the process began, then it needs a base. So that time Vishnu took the incarnation as a turtle that became the base on which the mountain was rested, like a pot. So the entire process became like a kalash or pot. The things begin when your process of introspection begins. It is when you do the process, start the process of introspection in your life. What is the purpose? To improve upon your life, to bring about prosperity and so many things, but it does not happen in that way. First of all, the negativities comes. Even when you are making a sugar syrup, you melt the sugar in the water, the sugar that looks clean. As you put it into the water, it starts boiling. The impurities come on the surface. So when it began, first thing that came out of that was poison. Who is going to use the poison? That is failures. When your process begins, you are making an effort, 100% effort, but the result is coming only 10%. The result is much less in proportion to the effort that you are putting into it. So failures comes in, poison comes out. Who is going to consume it? The poison, the failures. You can be affected by failures and forget your efforts. But you have to, there are insults when you are at the lowest ebb, all your friends and everything is disrespecting you. They are not recognizing your talent because there are failures. So you have to swallow your pride and do not have to tell the people who are making that, oh, you cannot get a job, you cannot do this thing. You cannot tell anything to them. You have to keep this poison into your neck. The second, as it continued, the prosperity came out. Lakshmi came out. And with that, the glory was started restoring in the heavens, and many things happened. Continued by this, 3 women, Rambha, Menka, and Punjasthala, came out, which were taken by the demigods. Thereafter came out, start coming out the Varuni. It is a female, it is symbolic of the wine, and that was captured by the demons. So according to Hindus, wine is considered as inauspicious. When it continued, then Kamadhenu, when your efforts start maturing, you will realize that you are introspectively, whatsoever you are thinking, the way you are making the decisions, it starts getting the results in the same way as you wish. The results started happening that way. This is known as Kamadhenu, the wish fulfilling cow. Then came the white elephant, which belonged to Indra and went back. Then came a 7 horses chariot. This is known as Uchishrava. And after that, these are all symbols. They came out one after the other. Then came out a flower that is known as Parijat. It has 4 petals white and an orange color stem. Its color is used for many things, for the prosperity, the hair, beauty, and all those things. So then, when the situation has reached to that place, your prosperity is regained, then you start focusing on beautifying yourself. So the leaves of Parijat, the stem, the orange color, the white, all these things are used. After that came out in the last the god of Ayurveda. All that you have known about health, the god of Dhanvantri. Dhanvantri that came out with pot of nectar. This is symbolic. When you have corrected all those anomalies, all those things that you were once not aware of it, the decisions that you had made, and all these things slowly and slowly start correcting. You has been obese, you were eating, your life was not disciplined, and because of that there was a lethargy, there was all. When all these things are corrected, your health is being restored, then it is out of your health the nectar comes out. And the nectar comes out, this comes out only in the end. The very purpose was of nectar. So there was a scuffle between gods and demons over the pot of nectar. Then the son of Indra, Jayant, he took the pot, and because of the scuffle that continued for 12 days, the pot was carried here. Sometimes demons have it, next time gods have it, and its drops scattered at 4 different places. So those 4 different places came to be known as sacred place for the celebration of this festival Kumbh. In the north in Haridwar, then in Prayagraj, which is now is happening, then in the center Ujjain, and the last is in Maharashtra, in the southwest part of country, Nasik or Triambakeshwar. These takes place it was a symbolic of 12 days. So a 1 day of gods is equal to 1 year of the human year. So every 12 years it takes place. And when such 12 cycles are completed, then it is 144 years. So the current Kumbh Mela that is happening started from today. It will continue for 45 days from 13th of March until the 26th of February. It happened after 144 years. Last time it happened in 1881. So you are lucky to be a witness, a contemporary to this festival. If you can have the opportunity to visit, please do. If not, many sites, many television, YouTube are showing this. Be part of that. There are 6 different the auspicious occasions for taking a dip in the river, where 3 rivers, the white Ganga, the blue Yamuna, and the invisible wisdom. When there is a lack of harmony, this is symbolic. When there is a lack of harmony between head and heart, the wisdom does not appear. Saraswati is symbol of wisdom, prosperity, and your creative instinct. When there is a confusion between head and heart in life, then you will not be able to regain your totality, total wisdom, total culture. And as the process of introspection begins, you come in the company of the master. There comes a communion through the master between your head and heart, between your emotions and your intelligence. Out of that, a particular kind of wisdom is developed in you that is known as intuition. The things that you had been struggling in your life, 100% efforts you do, the result was coming 10%. Now you are doing minimum efforts and maximum results are coming. This is what some of you would have experienced in their lives. So the 6 special occasions was, the first was the January is known as, according to Hindu calendar, Posh, and today is the full moon, Posh Purnima, that is 13th of January. Then this is an auspicious occasion. Next comes in the other occasion, which is the Makar Sankranti 14. This is the another astrological or planetary arrangement. It only happens on 14th on a certain day. Then comes the spring, the arrival of the spring season, which falls on 3rd of February. That day is an auspicious day. Then comes the Magh Purnima, the another full moon in the month of February, which falls on 12th of February. And the last in this sequence is 26th of February, when it is Shivratri. So these are the 6 occasions of taking a bath into the river dive. It is like going into your own being. It is like a churning. It is like the process of introspection. When you come in the company of the master, it is the beginning of the process of introspection. In the light that he is, in the energy field that he creates and surrounds you. First, the discordance that was happening because of the disturbance between head and heart, they start getting harmonized. There was a constant struggle, fight or conflict between husband and wife, between the children in the family, that start getting. So you are doing it, but it is within the energy field of this, things begin to change. The failures that you was having, and you was accepting the disrespect, the insults, the poison of the insults, disrespect, failures, they start, that phase finishes. Next phase comes when you start girdle up your lion, you start working on, then many things comes in, then your opportunities starts coming in. That's where it comes, the different things starts appearing, and many things like that. Your prosperity is restored, the relationship between you and your spouse changes, there comes a more harmony, the glory, the respect that was once a part of conflict, once it was dominated by conflict and despair and confusion, start changing. Your relationship with others starts changing. So this is all part of that you are going through this process of introspection within you. So the introspection means churning. Churning goes on like this. With sizzle stick we create more air, or we use the hand cake mixer or the commercial cake mixer. So that is the symbolic or the traditional meaning of this. It has, anything which is tradition has a deep meaning in your life. Once you understand it, I have never focused on traditions. I know about them and how these traditional ways and means apply to my individual life, what I can take out of these. The poison represents the failures, the insults that you face in your life. They surface and they are so much that because of that you lose the everything. You do not have energy to continue in life. There a possibility comes that you are so disappointed and with the because of the failures in life that you are ready to commit suicide and all these things. So we have to bear these, go through these stages, continue the process of introspection, so that one day, out of the same process of introspection, the nectar comes out. Nectar means the bliss, the harmony, the oneness, the prosperity, but it happens in stages. First, the negative gets less, then slowly and slowly things begin to happen, and that state your health improves. The body that was gaining weight and so many things because of obese and all the unhealthy eating habits that change. This is symbolic. In the last comes the god of Ayurveda, the sage Dhanvantri, who composed the entire science of all that is known about Ayur, about the age, about the life, all that you have known about the health, about the prosperity, about the life is known as Ayurveda. He is the sage. He composed it into 8 segments, and then he comes with a pot of nectar. Nectar means prosperity, health, wealth. It is a very comprehensive word. When meditation begins to deepen, your eating habits, your daily habits, so many things change in your life. So it is, in a way, total transformation into your life. Once the relationship between you and your family members, between you and your spouse, between you and your children, between you and your parent, that was declining, but that was on a downward grade, becomes changing their direction into the other. This is the outcome of the process of introspection. Remember, every member of your family does not come to the company of the master. It is only one person comes in. And when he is totally devoted out of trust, love, and understanding, total trust, surrender, and love, then process of transformation begins. When his life is transformed, he is becoming the light onto himself or herself. The light out of him or her begins to radiate, creates an aura around the house, around a person. And when somebody comes, your friends, your family members, children, parents, spouse, when they come within that aura of that inner light, things begin to change for you and for him. The fragrance wafts, the house that has become a source of that you do not want to be at home because the wife or the husband were always nagging for unnecessary reasons. Children were unhappy. Now each one of them starts their own process of growth, gets an impetus. The spouse begins to have the prosperity in his own way, in his own field. The wife begins to have it in his own way. The parents, the children, they get more interest in education. Their understanding develops. So many invisible and myriad things takes place. This is all because you are the womb, and out of the womb all these things as an offspring are coming into existence. The negativities come out. It is always in harmony between negative and the positive that churning takes place. When the process of introspection begins, you weigh the opportunities and the risks. Everything, there are two things, risk and opportunities. The negative mind highlights the risk more, and the positive mind highlights the opportunities more. He is focused on opportunities. Negative mind is focused on risks, and he highlights the risk. The positive mind highlights the opportunities. There is an opportunity. And once you highlight the opportunity, the risk starts getting less and less effective. You get tremendous energy to work on that opportunity that has come your way. There are certain things. You remember that once upon a time you were more the highlighting the risks in life. Now your focus has shifted from risks to opportunities, and that is a part of the process of introspection. So this, each religious festival has a very significance in an individual life, and this is the take that we should take from these festivals. There are like just as when the opportunity is right, when the opportunity is right, there is a kind of a harmony developing. There comes an opportunity is highlighted, and because so we must focus on that. The things happen at a particular point when the head and heart are in harmony with one another. This is astronomical alignment. The Jupiter, the god of wisdom, of the gurus, the master of all the gods and goddesses, when that wisdom reaches to a particular point, when your wisdom touches the emotions, it can touch your wisdom, can touch your introspection or your that inner quality. The vision touches the emotions, it has a different effect. When it touches your intellect, it has a different effect. So these are the astronomical alignments that takes place during your life. At times you would have realized, because of this astronomical alignment between you and your spouse, sometimes there is harmony. Other times the harmony is lost, is less. At times some of you have mentioned to me that how difficult it was to deal with the spouse. Now you are capable of handling that on your own. This is all because of the astronomical alignments. So there is becoming an astronomical alignment between you and your spouse, you and your employer, you and your employee, you and your children, you and your parents, you and your friends. So this is what we need to understand through this, the festival which is on the United Nations has declared, and it is part of the intangible site of UNESCO on their website. And much about this Kumbh Mela can be found in the website, that is www.kumbh.com.in, and it has been in different languages: German, Spanish, Latvian, Lithuanian, the Spanish, German, English, about 16 or 17 different the languages of the world. So people all over the world who are interested in their own transformation can look into that. So enough for now.